Mr. Nadler.
Thank you. My question I'd like to address to as many of the witnesses as can address it in the 5 minutes I have. New technologies like artificial intelligence can present great opportunities for creative industries to innovate, but they also present a set of challenges. Can you talk about how AI and other burgeoning technologies are affecting the music industry, and what do you think Congress can do to address these issues? We'll start with Ms. North.
Thank you for the question. I believe that there are tremendous opportunities with AI and for creators, for songwriters, for performers, but there also are deep, deep challenges, and there's the threat of decimating their careers. To me, the greatest challenge and maybe opportunity we have right now is to come up with a compensation model that's different from anything that's we've ever seen before. And what I mean is we all have works and sound recordings that are used in the ingestion to train these machine learning and AI generative tools. We need to make sure that not just the material, the IP, but the creators, that they're going to be paid for any derivative uses or any derivatives that are generated by this technology.
Mr. Molyneux.
Thank you. I think we need to prioritize human creators as we look at everything. AI is still early days, but it's moving fast. AI training should not be considered fair use, should not be presumptively considered fair use. I saw an operation that had spit out songs in the style of Songwriter Hall of Fame Liz Rose. In order to be able to write like her, the computer must have been fed her songs. That should not go on unlicensed, nor should it be uncompensated to Miss Rose. We need to make sure that where those examples happen, where that is considered infringement, and we need to preserve this direct licensing market.
Thank you, Mr. Levin.
Thanks for the question. It's such a massive topic right now, and obviously a top of mind for everyone in the industry. From the DEMA perspective, a lot of our focus is on what happens on the output side, less on the kind of input side of the training models, and ensuring that whatever rules are put into place and developed, that we make clear that there's an important data element to this. We've talked a lot about data on this panel already today, and the music industry has long struggled with metadata challenges. MLC is actually bringing a lot of improvement in that area. But one of the things that we hear talked about sometimes in AI is the idea that services like DEMA's members should somehow differentiate between AI-generated works and other works. I think absent information about what is AI generated, absent information about clear lines as between what truly counts as AI versus what counts as human, conversations that we're seeing at the Copyright Office around registrability, all of those things are fundamentally going to necessitate clear information that is available and included within the works as they arrive at the services. I think this is an ongoing conversation in the industry, and it's important that as we move forward that we're very clear about the elements of this massive topic that we're talking about and try to address them serially along that continuum.
Thank you, Mr. Tashian.
Yeah, I've been using AI for a long time. I mean, Cher's, do you believe in life after was a first sort of AI hit, because it asked the computer to specify what pitch she was on, which it did. It said, well, I think it should be, on this, which is an algorithm that's built into the Antares software. So AI's been, assisting musicians for decades, and now we're sort of kind of wringing our hands a little bit and saying, what do we do about it? But without taking too much time, I've yet to sort of experience an artwork created by a computer that gives me goosebumps or gives me chills because it's so beautiful. So until that happens, I'm just going to keep my head down and keep doing my best organic music and using computers when they can help.
Thank you, Mr. Porter.
I can only speak for creatives whose main emphasis is to try to do what they feel is a positive impact on the public at large about emotions that they don't know how to express through music, but these people do. And creatives don't want to have to try to figure out what the mechanics are that would be correct for the fairness that they should receive in doing what they do. They rely on others. That's why the relationships that they have with companies, people who say they're the business side of what they do. I think that the fact that if we cannot safeguard the fact that this process can compromise the future generations, their creative motivations to feel that it can be appreciated, respected, and done in a way that won't be compromised by someone else's interpretation of what they feel it should have been, then it can become extremely, in my opinion, risky to the value of what this whole process of AI can be, because you want to have the next generation motivated to want to take a path to do this. And if you have a method that compromises the real legitimacy of that based on what that creative feels, then you're doing something that's counter to what you may perceive as the good that it does. And
Thank you. My time has expired, but I ask the chair if you'd allow Mr. Aaron to answer the question.
Absolutely, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Nadler. I will say briefly, I agree with the other witnesses. It's imperative that that we ensure that whatever technological developments come down the pipe, that we are always protecting the rights of the human creators that from which all these works originate. And certainly from our perspective, we see a growing correlation between the use of technologies and fraudulent activities. So I think it's important that Congress be monitoring that and to make sure that we have clear and stiff penalties in place for people who choose to use technology for fraudulent or other inappropriate purposes rather than to elevate creative works.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
Thank you, and because of all the good work done so